"Attention, please," he said, his voice steady, but firm. All employees gathered quickly, sensing the importance of the moment. Karen crossed her arms, her expression indifferent, as if she had no idea what was coming. Louis took a deep breath before speaking. "I built Golden Brew on a foundation of respect, equality, and excellent service," he began. "Every customer who walks through those doors deserves to feel valued and welcome, but recently I witnessed behavior that goes against everything we stand for." The room was silent, employees exchanging uneasy glances. Louis turned his gaze toward Karen without calling her out by name, but making it clear who he was referring to. "Treating customers differently based on their appearance is unacceptable," he continued. "It's not just bad service, it's discrimination, and it has no place in this company." Karen's face paled slightly, her confidence faltering. Jessica, the store manager, shifted nervously, realizing the weight of the situation. Louis wasn't here to make a scene. He was here to make things right. "Effective immediately," he announced, "Golden Brew will be implementing stricter training and monitoring to ensure this never happens again, and as for those who fail to uphold these standards, there will be consequences." Karen swallowed hard, now fully aware of the situation. She had thought she could get away with her behavior, but now she realized her actions had caught up with her. Louis ended the meeting with a final statement, one that left a lasting impression on every employee in that room. "We are better than this," he said with conviction, "and we will do better." As he walked out, the air in the store felt different. Employees knew things were about to change. Customers watching from the sidelines had a newfound respect for the company. Louis had come undercover looking for answers, and what he found pushed him to take action. This wasn't the end of the story. It was the start of a better, more inclusive Golden Brew. "Attention, please," he said, his voice steady but commanding. The staff gathered in the seating area, their faces a mix of curiosity and worry. Karen leaned against the counter, still scrolling on her phone, until she realized who was speaking. Her eyes widened, and she quickly tucked her phone into her pocket. "My name is Louis Thompson," he began, his tone firm. "I'm the CEO of Golden Brew." Gasps filled the room as Karen froze, her face turning pale. Louis scanned the room, his gaze finally landing on her. "Last week, I visited this store undercover. I wanted to see how customers were treated." He locked eyes with Karen. "What I experienced was unacceptable. I was ignored, dismissed, and lied to. And from the complaints I've reviewed, I'm not the only one." Karen stammered, I didn't know it was you." Louis raised a hand to silence her. "It doesn't matter who I am. Every customer deserves respect, not just the ones you think are important." The room was tense, and Karen's usual confidence had vanished. She muttered weak excuses, but it was clear they wouldn't help her now. Louis finished with a message to the entire team. Golden Brew was built on the idea that everyone is welcome. This behavior has no place here, and it will not be tolerated. As Karen sat in stunned silence, Louis prepared to deliver the justice she had coming. This was more than a lesson for Karen, it was a statement to everyone about what his company stood for. Louis stood at the front of the room, looking at his employees with a firm yet calm expression. "Let me make one thing clear," he said, his voice steady. "Racism and poor service have no place at Golden Brew. Our mission is to create a welcoming environment for everyone, and that mission will not be compromised." The room was silent, all eyes on Louis. Then, he turned his attention to Karen, who was nervously fidgeting with her name tag. "Karen, your behavior last week, along with the complaints I reviewed, shows a clear pattern of disrespect and discrimination. That is unacceptable, and I cannot allow it to continue." Karen's face turned pale. "Wait," she stammered. "I can change. It won't happen again, I swear." But Louis shook his head. "I gave you the chance to do the right thing with every customer you've served. You chose not to. Effective immediately, you're no longer employed at Golden Brew." Karen gasped, looking around for support, but none of her coworkers spoke up. Louis continued, addressing Jessica, the store manager. "Jessica, I understand the challenges you've faced, but as a leader, it's your responsibility to ensure this workplace reflects our values. I'm giving you the tools to succeed." Jessica nodded, relief and determination in her eyes. Lewis explained that she would receive additional training on team management and leadership, along with company-wide support to ensure the store became a positive space for everyone. He then announced sweeping changes across all Golden Brew locations. Starting today, we're implementing mandatory diversity and inclusion training for every employee. These sessions will focus on treating every customer with respect and ensuring that Golden Brew remains a space where everyone feels welcome. We will not wait for problems to arise. We will address them proactively. Word of the incident quickly spread, thanks to a few customers who had witnessed the confrontation and shared the story online. Social media exploded with posts applauding Lewis for taking swift and decisive action against discrimination. Comments flooded in from people who admired his leadership and praised Golden Brew for standing up for its values. The changes Lewis implemented began to make a difference almost immediately. Customers noticed the improved atmosphere at the coffee shop, and many expressed their gratitude to the staff. The local community, once wary of the branch, began returning in greater numbers, and business flourished. For Lewis, the experience was a reminder of why he had started Golden Brew in the first place, to create a business that not only served great coffee but also stood for something greater. He reflected on the importance of leadership and how one decision could shape the culture of an entire company. One afternoon, as he visited another store, Lewis noticed a young black barista working diligently behind the counter. The barista looked up, eyes wide with recognition. "You're Mr. Thompson," he said excitedly. "You're the reason I wanted to work here." Lewis smiled, touched by the young man's words. He spent the afternoon mentoring the barista, sharing advice on leadership and success. As they talked, Lewis felt a deep sense of pride, not just in the company he had built, but in the example he had set. He knew that real change came from action, and he was committed to inspiring others to do the same. Golden Brew wasn't just a coffee shop, it was a symbol of inclusivity, equality, and the power of doing what's right. And that, Lewis thought, was the most important achievement of all.